The August 2010 Medical and Dental Mission to the Ngobe people in Chiriqui, Panama. Our group gathered from Dothan, Alabama, Louisiana, and Ohio, and traveled to Panama City, Panama, and route to Chiriqui in the western part of the country. We piled our bodies and our supplies into a trusty bus, and we were on our way. August is the rainy season, and this has been the wettest in many, many years. Only later would we realize how this would affect our mission. Even before we had a chance to set up, the Ngobe began gathering. The clinic is not staffed between teams that come 2 or 3 times a year. Paula was glad to see us. She supervises the facility for the various mission trips that come down. And this will, in the next 3 or 4 hours, become our pharmacy. Each team travels with about 2,000 pounds of equipment, medications, and supplies. And it takes a while to sort things out. We carry out some basic repairs around the clinic. Here's Richard changing a light bulb. And it looks like it's time for a new fan. The Ngobe had a hard time dealing with the wet weather. Normally the waiting area would have several times that number of patients. And every year they seem to have cuter and cuter babies. After a while, the clinic was in full swing. None of the Ngobe speak English, and many speak Spanish only poorly. We work with interpreters. There's Pablo, who speaks Spanish and Ngobe, and helps out in the pharmacy. Joan and Tim did a great job this year. Bert checking fetal heart tones. Everything seems to be fine. And there's Kelly working with Marcos to take care of a baby. Richard's an orthopedic surgeon. Here he is draining a ganglion cyst on a young man's wrist. This little one is suffering from pneumonia and dehydration. We did our best to break the fever and hydrate the child. Every year, several wind up going to the hospital. In addition to medical services, the team provided some construction help. Here's Larry working on the ramp to the dental clinic. Ben's putting his back into it, bringing concrete that will cover the ramp. I was amazed with the ingenuity the local workers guided our people to do some really fine work with very minimal equipment. And by the time we left, the ramp was hard and dry. And hopefully by 2011, the dental clinic will be finished. This is a product or the project of Alan, a dentist in Chicago, who's traveled with us. Speaking of dentists, here's Naaman and Angie providing dental services to the people. I've been on trips without dentists, and it's so disappointing to have to turn people away who've walked 5 and 6 hours each way for dental help and have nothing to offer them. We also provide glasses to the Ngobe. Sometimes simple reading glasses, other times donated bifocals and even sunglasses. Without glasses, the women cannot do their craft, and without crafts, they have no access to badly needed cash. This woman seems quite pleased. Every man, woman, and child coming through the clinic is treated for intestinal parasites. We use either albendazole or mebendazole, and this year we've added ivermectin. This is a temporary fix because their water supply is tainted, but it is clearly worth doing and helps them greatly with their health and nutrition status. We have an active children's program which serves greatly in two ways. First, it gives the children exposure to arts, crafts, and some Bible stories. And secondly, it keeps the children from rampaging around the clinic. Everybody who wanted one received a free 8x10 color photograph of themselves. And these are cherished. Almost every trip we go on a house call. Here we are going into Paula's grandmother's home. She asked us to go to her since the woman was too ill to travel. Paula's grandmother's well into her 80s, and we found that she was suffering from both pneumonia and heart failure. We gave her some medications, and the last we heard, she had stabilized. She was very grateful for the care. I mentioned before that our patient counts were well off what they should be. We saw fewer than half the patients we normally do in August. One of the reasons for this is that the bridge that fell in a storm 2 or 3 years ago is still down. So this is how the Ngobe crossed the San Juan River. It's a slow and tedious process. Only a few can cross at a time, and is not without hazard. When the river is up greatly, it will actually touch the basket. Because of the extra heavy rains this year, many Ngobe would not risk crossing the river to come see us. Much of the population has to cross 2 and 3 rivers this size in order to reach the clinic. Here we are traveling down the highway, sharing the road with a load of bananas. This Chiriqui highway worker has a keen fashion sense and a nose for safety. Of special note, Richard and Yvette adopted Rosa, a Ngobe girl, several years ago. This gives them a special connection to the area and the Ngobe people. On the last day of every trip, the Ngobe hold a short ceremony thanking us for our efforts. This woman is expressing her gratitude for the work we've done. And then we pile back on the bus, and off we go. If you'd like any information about what you've seen, our medical missions to the Ngobe of Chiriqui, please feel free to contact me. My email is calmo@watchtv.net. I'll be happy to share any information I have. Thank you very much, and God bless.